Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the third in our energy webinar series with DTE Energy. I'm Sarah Miller. I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Strategic Communication for the Small Business Association of Michigan. And SBAM is proud to work with DTE Energy as well as Consumers Energy to bring Michigan small business energy efficiency resources. And you can request your energy assessment. They're free at sbam.org/energy. Joining me today is DTE Energy's Jeremy Capello, who will chat with Dan Lippman about the steps business owners can take to ramp up energy efficiency as the weather turns cooler. And I know most of us are enjoying some very balmy weather today, but I think tomorrow that's ending and we're going to be needing these cool weather tips. So with that, I will turn it over to Jeremy.
Thanks, Sarah. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Thanks for having me again. This is the third webinar that we're doing, and I'm very excited to be here and provide you guys some education and some tips and resources. And I think just maybe we'll start with a recap on kind of some of the things that we've talked about in our last webinars, which were really helpful. At this time of the year, I know a lot of our small business customers are working on planning and budgeting and what do they have left for this year? What does next year's budget look like? And so just a reminder that these are important considerations for your energy efficiency projects, budgeting them appropriately. Along with that, we have some great resources to help you. We had Todd from Michigan Saves last time, and he talked to us about some of the financing options that are available. So that's really, really good option if you're looking to do a low interest, in some cases, no interest loan. So just kind of something to keep in mind. And if you are getting engaged with these projects, please ask about the Michigan Saves program. It's a partnership that we have with SBAM, with DTE, with Michigan Saves, and we can provide SBAM members with special rates. So that's a really good option just for you guys to kind of get started and learn a little bit. So there is a website available. It's michigansaves.org, and you can kind of go there to learn a little bit more. But again, kind of going along those recaps, really important things to consider at any time of the year. I mean, especially as we move into the, we'll call it the heating season. We're out of the cooling season now. So I have Dan with me, and Dan is the program manager for our small business program. And his team is the one that does a lot of the assessments and all the things that we had talked about. So starting at the beginning, what we always recommend is call us, get engaged, because everything that we offer to start is complimentary. So there's no cost, no expectations, nothing to you. To Sarah's point, call SBAM. You can go on sbam.org/energy. Kyle is awesome. He'll come out to your site. He'll do an audit. So all of these things are complimentary. It's all covered. We'd love to potentially install some product if it's available, some light bulbs or things like that we can give to you as gifts for being members of SBAM and being customers of DTE Energy. So that's kind of my general recommendation if you don't know where to start, because I recognize a lot of this stuff is overwhelming and sometimes you don't really know what you don't know. And those audits are a really, really good way to get started, because we're going to come in, we're going to take stock of what's happening in your business, where there are opportunities, and really help you not only figure out how we can make those projects happen, but prioritize them. And I think that's really important, especially given the climate that we're in with COVID and we don't know what's going to happen. So those are really, really good resources that are available to you guys. So I would strongly, strongly encourage you to call Kyle at SBAM and set up those energy audits, because that's really your first step. And once we have an understanding of what do you have in your building, what type of existing conditions are there, some buildings are directly in sunlight, some are out of sunlight. Those can really pose different challenges for us, right? And so as we kind of start to go towards the cooling season, the cooler temperatures of the heating season, as we call it, there are really just a couple simple basic tips that you can do that'll help you. One is install a programmable thermostat. and set it back. The keyword is and set it back. So the reason why I say that is most people just install a thermostat and you walk away, okay, I got my programmable thermostat. But you really need to program that to set it to the different levels at the different times that are appropriate for your business. And in some cases, we find that a lot of customers don't even adjust the temperature. They just put the thermostat up there and walk away. These thermostats can set on a schedule for you. If your business is 8 to 5, you can set it to work 8 to 5 and turn off after 5 p.m. So that's a really, really good way to reduce your energy, just because oftentimes the thermostat's going to continuously run until it hits the temperature. And sometimes it may not even hit that temperature, depending on where your temperature sensor is. So important things to consider. Those are really easy things to do. Again, that's something that we do as part of the assessment. You do have to ask for it. So if it's something you're interested in, please mention it during the assessment. And that's something that Kyle and Dan would be more than happy to kind of educate you guys on. A really important one is changing and cleaning your furnace filters. I know that for me, I've set up on a delivery schedule and I just get that mailed to my house, every 45 days, and I install a new one at that point. But those dirty filters can really increase your energy costs because they're full of particles and dust, and it takes more forced air to get through your ducts. So it can sometimes overwork your system, and not only that, but it reduces your air quality. So I definitely think in a time like today, it's important for us to have remove some of those small barriers, because just those little particles of dust could very easily cause congestion or headaches or things like that. So definitely want to try to avoid any of those symptoms. I think some of the smaller things you can kind of do for yourself is look at things like smart strips. Again, there's a plethora of them out there. There's different technologies, but a real basic smart strip, we call them vampire loads. And what that does is that reduces things that are turned on and running and you don't know it. So when you have those trickle star strips, and you can go to the DTE website, we have a special program for small business customers. So you go to dteenergy.com/save energy, and there's actually a marketplace, and you can go right onto the marketplace and we incentivize those, or we give them to you at a heavy discount. So that's definitely something to kind of look at. Very, very important. This is something that's overlooked. Carbon monoxide. They call it the silent killer for a reason. A lot of times people aren't even aware that there's a carbon monoxide leak. So you need to make sure that you have your carbon monoxide sensor installed, the batteries are in there, and it's working properly. That is definitely something to keep an eye on, especially as you're going to be running your heat more. Gas furnaces can sometimes have a cracked heat exchanger, which can omit some of those carbon monoxide particles in the air. So it's really, really important for you to have the proper safety procedures in place just to make sure that you can kind of catch that. And I think the other thing too, this is more of an outside thing, but just making sure from a safety perspective that your business is doing everything that they can, clearing off the leaves, clearing off the snow, salting. Again, just thinking about safety and things like that can build up around if you have an outside meter. So just kind of walking around your business or your area, just making sure that all of that is clean. We've kind of seen some strange things happen where there's been, we had an issue with a buildup of leaves, and then snow got on top of that, and then it turned into ice, and it totally wrecked this customer's meter, and they were having all kinds of issues with their billing. Again, that's a very one-off situation, but just a reminder to try to keep all of your paths clean and thinking about the safety of not only your employees, but kind of the customers, who are going to be coming in and out of your business.
Jeremy, can I interrupt real quick?
Sure.
You said something about, was it a smart strip?
Yes.
Could you clarify what that means for some of us who might not know?
Definitely. So there are a couple of different versions of, it's just a basic power strip. So you can do several different versions. So the smart strips are, it's a manufacturer, they're called Trickle Star. We sell them on the DTE marketplace, and it's meant to shut things, not provide any more power. So those little surges and those little things that you get when stuff is plugged in and it's not even running, like think your laptop's plugged in and it's charging and it's fully charged. But it's still drawing a little bit of power. So those smart strips will stop that draw. And then if you really want to get advanced, there's some really cool smart home appliances, which would require like a hub and a little bit of more things like that. But you can use, Google, Alexa, anything kind of along those lines, which is also a really good way to kind of automate your building. I'm sure Dan could provide a little bit more information. We do have like lighting controls, and there are like really advanced things that you can do for your building. But just understand, as a small business customer, you guys are busy running the store, being HR, being the accountant. You don't really have time to deal with this stuff. So anything that we can do to make it easier for you, I would highly suggest looking at some of these things like the smart trips, or if you're interested, looking at more of a smart hub to where you can have an app that you can program everything with. So all of that, it's a little bit more advanced, but I mean, those applications are available in a residential and a small business. You wouldn't want to do that if you had a large warehouse. You would probably want something more sophisticated. But if you think of a mom and pop shop or a restaurant or something like that, you could certainly automate the lights and have some controls on there, which can really reduce the human side of it, like the human error, because I know me personally, I forget to turn my thermostat down all the time. And so for that reason, I bought a Nest from the marketplace, so I can go on my app and I can turn it off or I can turn it on and kind of program it. So I really think kind of those little small convenience type factors can influence your energy usage.
Great,
So that's
thank you.
a great question, Sarah. Sorry, I'm a little bit on my pedestal right now. So just kind of want to put out there that, again, we have the marketplace and there are a ton of products that are available at a discount to you guys on there, and those power strips are one of the things that are on there. I think we're going to shift it over to Dan now, but just again, kind of recap. So Dan is the program manager for Franklin Energy, and they are our contractor for the small business program. And again, Dan and Kyle, they're the team that's going to come out and they're going to do the energy audit for you. So I really can't stress the importance of that, really understanding what you have and then working with Kyle and DT to create a sustainable plan that's realistic, right? Because not everybody has a ton of capital, and sometimes you might get a bid on a project and be very surprised at the cost, but that's where we'll come in to help you understand what that cost is and to help work with you to really prioritize that stuff, because some of these projects do have almost a no-brainer return on investment, and in most cases those are lighting, right? So if you have a lot of inefficient lighting, replacing that can reduce your bill sometimes up to 60-70%. So I'm gonna pass it over to Dan, and he's gonna talk to you guys a little bit about some of the incentives that we have available to small business customers, about our website where you can go to learn more information, how to get a hold of them. Again, sbam.com/energy. That's definitely the go-to resource. We have an external website for DTE, and I think Dan's gonna kind of share a little bit of a customer success story. So I'll pass it off to you, Dan.
Great, thanks, Jeremy. So I want to take it back a couple minutes. You mentioned something about small business. You're the HR, you're the owner, you're everything, right? And that's kind of how this program got established. So just take it back a little bit. 2009, DT started a lot of energy waste reduction programs, and there's always been different opportunities for incentives and to help you guys save energy and help with the upfront costs. But we know small business customers need a lot more help than certain customers. So this program really kind of gives it some more hand-holding, helps you guys be able to participate in programs, takes the pressure off you how to find a contractor, we'll come out, do an assessment. So that's kind of how we look at this program. You guys need a little more help than certain other customers, and we'll walk you through the process. And there's a lot of teamwork between SBAM, in DTE. I work with Kyle. We'll do the assessments for you guys. He'll pass over some customers to us, and then we come in and do our follow-up assessment and help you. So there's a lot of hand-holding and really trying to encourage you guys to do projects and help out any way we can. So people that aren't familiar with energy waste reduction, that's a surcharge on your bill. And it's something I always like talking about because it's a reason to get you guys to participate. It's money you're paying on your bill to go towards programs like this. So do some work, let us come out there, do a project, and get some of that money that you've been paying back in a form of incentive to really help you offset the project. A little bit about incentives. So, we mentioned lighting and some controls. The biggest thing we've been doing this year is a lot of lighting, a lot of refrigeration because of small business and a lot of restaurants. But we offer incentives on both the electric and gas side. So lighting, refrigeration, thermostats, furnace tune-ups, a new furnace. And if it's not through this program, there are other programs. So basically the way to think about it, anything that would save you a watt or an MCF, so anything that's going to save energy potentially has some sort of incentive. So it's always great to, you can start with us, like Jeremy mentioned, start with an assessment, but make sure you reach out to someone and you start with our program. If we can't help you, we're definitely going to, get you into the right program to talk to. But anything that can save energy or something you're looking at has potential for an incentive. But so just take you through a little bit about the process. So, and some of them have come to us from SBAM. Some are just customers reaching out through the website. But what we do, we have a team of energy advisors. They will come out to your business and do a no-cost assessment. We'll look around for some of the basic easy opportunities. You need a programmable thermostat, really old incandescent or fluorescent lighting, possible strip curtains or gaskets on your refrigeration to help you. A new furnace, and just the basic overview. So we'll walk through your business, do some recommendations. When we're there, if there's an opportunity at no cost, we will install low flow aerators, shower heads, light bulbs, screw-in light bulbs, pipe wraps. So little things that as a business owner, you're not worrying about the water flow coming out of your sink or uninsulated pipes, things you might stare at them every day and never notice, but it takes us 1 second walking in to just kind of notice, okay, I can put some pipe wrap on here. Not going to save thousands of dollars, but you are going to save energy. And then maybe when you see that pipe wrap, it's going to remind you, hey, there's some other things I could do to, save a little bit of energy and be more energy efficient. So we come in, we do some DI if there's opportunity, and then we'll go over an assessment report with you. So kind of like Jeremy said, it'll explain, your best opportunity is doing all of your lighting. If you're looking to do something else, maybe some refrigeration, some controls. So we'll sit down and we'll go over the assessment report with you. There's no obligation, there's no cost. So it's just a good way to, maybe pique some interest or, hey, we're not interested this time. And that's fine. We just want to come out and give you the opportunity to present what we can do. And then we take it a step further. Like I said, we want to be able to provide you some help, and you don't have time to get quotes and find a contractor. There's so many contractors. Are they good? Are they bad? What we do, we have a set of trade allies. So these are contractors that have been working with different DTE programs and this program for years. They know how to use the application. They know how to, complete the project. So instead of you working to get quotes or contractors finding for the first time, we'll take the information we found on the assessment, pass it over to a contractor if you want us to, and then they'll come out, go over the assessment with you, go over opportunities, provide you quotes. So again, taking that step out, that's hard for a small business owner who's busy and can't work with contractors. So that's the idea of the program, trying to take you through the process, identify opportunities, explain them to you, get a contractor out, and hopefully take you through the process. So I can give you an example. We had a Super 8. It was a SBAM customer. Then Kyle went out, met with them, did a little assessment. There was some interest. Kyle passed it over to our team. Energy advisor went out, walked the facility. There was some opportunity for some direct install with shower heads and aerators. So again, at no cost. And then let them know about the lighting opportunity. So they're really excited. They wanted to meet with a contractor. We passed it over to a contractor. Contractor came out, provided us some quotes. And I think it was about a month later, but they decided to go with the project. And now they're working on completing the lighting project to receive some incentives for doing the work. And a lot of the incentives, it doesn't make the cost or the job free, but it really makes it so you're payback period is a lot less. So the incentives could cover 25, 50% of the cost of the project, which makes, like Jeremy mentioned, some of them are a no-brainer. And here a lot of time is, I'll just wait. I don't really want to do the project right now, but every time you wait in an energy efficiency project, if you put it off 6 months or a year, you're spending that money up front. So unlike certain things where you kind of wait till the timing's right, the second you kind of think about it, if you're willing to do it, the sooner you do it, the quicker you're going to pay it back and you get things done. So that's really what we're trying to encourage you, is not wait. Here's some incentives, just, get the project done as soon as possible and make it really easy to afford, especially with Michigan Saves.
So Dan, if there were a few things a business could do, I know Jeremy touched on some of the easy steps, but if you had a few recommendations for what a business could do over this, next month or so before the snow really starts to come at us, and so what would those be, and are there any incentives for those types of projects?
Yep. The biggest thing that you can easily do to improve some efficiencies without, putting in new equipment is a furnace tune-up. Furnace tune-up boiler is a really good thing. We offer incentive every 2 years for it. But what it does, kind of like Jeremy mentioned, the air filter, right? If your furnace is dirty, it's going to work harder. It's not working as efficient as it's supposed to. So a tune-up, they'll come in, they can do a combustion analysis report for a boiler. Furnace, they'll clean it up. They can clean, it's a maintenance item. Look at it as like a physical on yourself. It's a piece of equipment that works really hard all year, your AC and your furnace. So it's really good to get a tune-up, and we do offer incentives for those as well. But that's the easiest thing. Thermostats for sure. A lot of people have thermostats, and we've seen a lot when we're doing our assessments. A lot of people have programmable thermostats, but they don't use them. No, and I'm guilty of that at times as well in my house. But it's really easy. It's really easy to program it, and it's worth. I think it's 2 to 3% of your bill every degree you set it back. It depends on how efficient your building is too, right? If you have a very efficient insulated facility, it's going to work really good to have that thing set back, where if it's not insulated, it could cause some more issues. But I would say a tune-up or a thermostat is some of the easiest and best.
That's good. And I would think too, especially now where I know if you do have control over your building thermostat, and a lot of us are either working remotely full-time or only going into the office on certain days, that could certainly help you manage your energy so that you're only heating the building when people are going to be in 1 day a week, for example, or 2 days a week, or whatever that might look like. So those are some really good tips.
Yeah, and that's we've offered incentives for programmable thermostats over the years, but now it's a smart programmable thermostat. So even if you've had a programmable for 5, 6 years, there's an opportunity to go into a smart, so a Wi-Fi thermostat. So exactly like you're mentioning, especially now, it's not like a set schedule. A lot of businesses where it's today's that we're going in, tomorrow, who knows? So if you have a Wi-Fi, you can easily hop in and turn it on, turn it off. So they're very efficient, and they make them very easy to use now as well.
Good. We did have a question come in about incentives for doors, windows, or the weatherproofing of those items.
Yeah, I mean, we only measure we have on this program, and we're, we look to add things as we learn from customers, but gaskets on refrigeration. Windows, like I said, there is other programs. There's some window glazing incentives we've had over the years. But everything that we do is based off of the MEMD, that's Michigan Energy Management. That some customers are familiar, don't want to dive into that, but we offer incentives for measures that the state kind of sets the savings. And we know there's a lot of products out there that will save energy, like weather stripping and things like that, or buying a can of great stuff, right? There's a lot of great ways to save energy, but unfortunately, we can't incentivize all of those type of items. So personally, you go back to the question of what you can do. Weather stripping is huge. Weather stripping, buying a little can of great stuff, and going around and looking for holes and just feeling around and looking for cold air. Those are great things to do, but unfortunately, there really isn't any commercial incentives for doing things like that.
Understood. And I think too, from what you and Jeremy both touched on, the fact of the matter is you can go through sbam.org/energy. you can get your free assessment, and Kyle and the DTE team and consumers team, if you're in that territory too, can help you identify the areas for improvement. So I think that's always a really good step. And of course, you can help identify available incentives and bonuses and other programs.
And Sarah, just one thing to kind of touch on as well, and some of the incentives that we have. So our program year typically goes until the end of November, and then starting in December, it's kind of like a couple weeks for us just to shut down and get the program ready for 2021. So what we have going on for the rest of the year this year actually is first is a 25% assessment bonus. So what that means is if you sign up for an assessment, and you want to do a project, you will get a 25% incentive bonus just because you had the assessment first. And then on top of that, you can stack other bonuses. For example, we have a lighting bonus for interior and exterior of 25%, and same thing with refrigeration. So, to Dan's point, there are a lot of bonuses, and there's a lot of different ways that we can help you. And really the first way to get started is just with that energy audit. And then from there, we can really build out a plan with you and sit with you and say, hey, it makes sense to do this, or it makes sense to do that. Or maybe this is a really low hanging fruit. Let's knock that out. We can do that this year. Or to Dan's point, not every business qualifies for this, but we do have what we call direct install materials. And what that means is when the energy assessment happens, there's a DTE van and there's a person that's there, and they have a bunch of light bulbs and pipe wrap and shower heads and stuff already on hand. And if your business qualifies for that, they'll walk out to the truck and come and install them at no cost for you. So it really is a no-brainer. Just even if I have incandescent screw-in light bulbs, we'll come out and swap those out for you, right? And then to what Dan was saying, we have a lot of incentives available if you need tubes or something specific to your business. One very common thing that we do is really in convenience stores and gas stations. So those seals that are around the door, those are the first thing to go, and that's going to use a lot of energy. Your compressor is going to constantly be running trying to cool that. So we'll go around and we'll replace all those gaskets for you. And similar to that, LED lighting, case lighting for a lot of convenience stores, grocery stores, supermarkets, things like that. Just really small tweaks that you can make that'll really help. And again, we have bonuses to kind of help cover that for you. So just kind of want to reiterate, strongly encouraging everyone to start with the audit, especially because you'll just qualify for the bonus just for literally scheduling it. So, no cost to you and really no obligation at that point.
I do want to stress that there is no cost. SBAM's role in this is to be kind of a concierge so that we can walk the business owners through everything and kind of take the burden off you, because we know how busy everyone is, and there is no obligation. So if you just want to know in terms of budget planning for next year, even the year after, that's totally acceptable. But we do have this resource. We work really hard to make it available to all of our members and Michigan small businesses. So I do encourage you to take advantage of it. So sbam.org/energy.
Yeah, and I know today we're specifically talking about energy efficiency, but I do want to stress that Kyle, Sarah, everybody at SBAM, myself, Dan, we're all here to help. So if you have just a random off-the-wall DTE problem, just please reach out. I might not be the person that can help you, but I will find somebody who can help you. So I just want to reiterate that partnership that we have with SBAM, with Sarah, with Kyle. I mean, we meet almost every week or every other week, and we kind of keep in contact. So there are some off the wall things that come at us, and it might not be energy waste reduction. It could be a problem with your bill or a question on your bill. We can get somebody to kind of help you with that. So I just want to, again, reiterate, we're here to help. Anything that we can do, even if you think it's crazy off the wall, please reach out. There's a lot of people at the company who would love to help you guys.
That is great. That is great. Thank you so much for that. I don't have any other questions. I don't know, Dan or Jeremy, if you have any final thoughts today, or if we're
the only thing that I can think of, Sarah, is kind of leading into next year. So again, we're setting up our program year. We don't have a ton of information yet, but typically what we do is we do these program kickoff meetings. And pre-COVID, we would host a meeting, generally 3 locations around the state, one in Grand Rapids, one north, and then one like Metro Detroit area. And there would be an opportunity for you to come and learn about all of our programs and how everything works. This year, we're going to be doing webinars. So I will make sure to keep in touch with Sarah on that so we can share that information with you. And the reason why you attend those meetings is just to understand, okay, these are all the programs that DTE offers. So it's a really good place to understand, oh, there's an energy waste reduction program for strategic energy management or building controls, and there's a separate program for rooftop HVAC units. So we're really just now starting to really understand all the different things that customers want and how to help them. So we're developing new programs constantly. Something that we haven't even touched on here is a lot of the pilots and a lot of the special opportunities that we pass on to SBAM members, because it's something we're trying out, and maybe we need 10 or 15 people to try to install one thing and then give us feedback and see if it works. But a lot of those opportunities really aren't advertised, and we kind of share that during our kickoff meeting. So I'll work with Sarah to make sure that the SBAM team has all of that information, but just kind of want to give you guys a heads up to look out for that, probably second to third week in January. Again, just helping you understand what do the programs look like for next year, what kind of incentives are available. So it'll really help you understand all the different levers that we can kind of pull for non-residential customers, because there's so many different types of customers, so many different energy waste reduction applications or energy efficiency applications. And again, just want to stress that we're here to help and try to share as much information with you guys as possible. I know it seems kind of backwards that DT wants you to save energy and use less energy, but I promise you that's something that we're committed to, and that goes along with our company's plan and reduction of our carbon and all of that sort of thing. So all this goes together, and really looking forward to engaging with you guys. And of course, if you need anything, reach out to Sarah, Kyle, Dan, myself. We're here to help.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I would say. Just make sure you reach out. A lot of these lighting projects and things, we have to get in there and see some things first sometimes. So we don't want you to risk losing that potential incentive. And then not every LED qualifies. There's, we encourage you to use better products. You can get, super low quality LED, high quality, but if you reach out to us, we'll make sure you're getting the right materials to make sure you get the incentive. So try not to start any projects without ever, reaching out to Kyle, Sarah, myself, Jeremy. But again, we're here to help and want to make sure you qualify the incentive you're trying to get. So if that's the biggest thing, I can just make sure you reach out before starting a project.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you both for being with us today. This will be available on our website to watch. So if you missed the beginning and want to rewatch it, it'll be on sbam.org probably later today or tomorrow. And again, please let us know what we can do to help you be more successful at your small business. Thanks everybody for being here today, and enjoy this last day of nice weather. And we'll see you for our next webinar. I think we have one coming up next week or the week after. So check sbam.org/events for that full schedule. Thank you.